say at this time. That's refreshing.
Yeah, it wasn't, it's been fine since. No, I haven't heard from either of them, so they're not getting excused tonight. He would have told me. Doug? Yeah, we only need 4. You haven't heard from either.
I have not heard from him. I have not heard from him.
I'm not excusing them.
Kim,
Like, you can tell me like 20 minutes before, but treat them like. Huh?
Troy is running late,
It's
but he
this.
is on his way.
Right here.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
That's not their property. Yeah. That will be a PUD thing, not just parcel.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
perfect.
I can see it.
But yeah, I can't recall.
I was gonna say, I just checked my email and hadn't seen
Yeah.
anything, so I'm glad you got it.
Troy, yeah, okay.
Okay,
It's gatekeeper.
I know. This gatekeeper.
Kim,
Yes.
are you all set?
Yes.
Good evening. I'm going to call the Village of Middleville Planning Commission meeting to order. Kim, if we can have a roll call, please.
Jason Holzhausen,
Here.
Bruce Farrell,
Yes.
Maria Gustinas.
Here.
Richard Hamilton, Troy Newman, Amanda Pullen,
Here.
Di Wilkie.
All right, we have the Pledge of Allegiance on our agenda.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, commissioners, we have a printed agenda in front of us. Additions, questions?
Can I make a motion to excuse Troy since he's on the way?
You may.
I'll support.
We have a motion with support to excuse Troy this evening. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? There we are. We'll straight down.
Make a motion to approve the agenda as written. Support.
We have a motion with support to approve this evening's agenda as written. Any last chance? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed say nay. We have our agenda this evening. Minutes from our February 4th meeting. Everyone's had a chance to read those. We just had our annual report on that and some comments from ourselves. I'm good.
Make a motion to approve the minutes as written. Support.
We have a motion with support to approve our minutes from February 4th. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. Hi, Troy. All right, this brings us to our first public comment session of the evening. This evening, we do have a public hearing on our agenda in regards to a drive-through for a restaurant facility in the village. So if you have comments regarding the drive-through, I'll ask you to wait for that. We'll actually have 3 public comment sessions this evening. But for now, we do ask that you address the board. You have a 3-minute time limit. And as tradition, we do not discuss or have an open dialogue during public comment session.
Okay.
Good evening, Greg.
Good evening. Craig Stolzenberg, Village Manager. I want to introduce you Cassie Clark, who is our new Community Development Coordinator. As of last week, she's actually starting next Monday. Thornapple Kella, graduate of 2015, right? Cornerstone graduate, associate's degree in marketing or business. Business studies, there you go. So she's going to be working very closely with Doug and with you all soon enough. As soon as we get her trained up, she'll probably be here taking minutes and stuff like that too. But I want to introduce Cassie to you, and she's going to be working closely with the Planning Commission and with the DDA moving forward. So
Welcome.
I don't know if you want to say anything.
Hi, it's very nice to meet you, and I look forward to being a representation for Middleville and the values that you all cherish and value most.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Anyone else this evening? Here, seeing no others, we are going to move on to our new business. We have a special land use application, 2025-01, and a site plan, 2025-01. This is a parcel at the northwest corner of M37 and the New Street Highboard Drive. First up will be the special land use application presentation. Dan, good evening.
Good evening.
The floor is yours.
Thanks. I'll just say a couple of words about the site plan. And so I'm Dan Olson with Upstream Design Group. We're the civil designers for the project. And I'm pleased to be here tonight. Appreciate everyone's time and effort and close coordination with Doug on the project. You guys have been great to work with, so thank you for that. Just a couple of things to highlight quickly on the site plan. I'll let Doug cover off on most of it and be available for questions. But we did meet. I was remote with some of you earlier in February to talk about the site plan and to go over some questions on that. So we worked through those questions. A couple of things that were brought up at that meeting. One was the addition of a bike rack that was requested. I hope that's reflected on your site plan. I can tell you it's on mine. So that is something that we added as a result of the comments that we heard, I believe it was on the 11th. And the other request was for a fire truck circulation plan, which was provided as part of your packet this evening with no issues noted on that. So with that, I just say that we're excited to be part of the community and to be here. I'm available for questions after Doug gives his overview, and thanks for the time this evening. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Dan. Yeah, we will, after our public hearing, we will chat about special land use more and probably about the site plan bit. Mr. Powers.
Thank you, Commissioners. So the applicant, Mr. Dan Olson, the zoning district is Plan Unit Development C2 Highway Commercial. The property address location is 800 Mid-Villa Lane. It's the northwest corner of M37 and Highboard Drive. Request is for a special land use permit and site plan approval for a fast food restaurant with a drive-through facility. As an introduction, the applicant has submitted a request for a special land use permit and site plan approval to allow for a fast food restaurant with a drive-through at the subject property. The property is part of a planned unit development zone C2, which permits the proposed use subject to special land use approval per ordinance 2131. Special land use review. Per section 78-552, the Planning Commission must review the following criteria when considering a special land use permit for a drive-through facility. 1, all automobile queuing for a drive-through window shall be separated from other off-site and on-site traffic patterns. Comment, queuing locations designed around public entrance. 2, pedestrian areas shall be clearly marked and said markings shall be maintained. Comment, markings identified on site plan indicated ramps outside of drive-through queuing locations. Other parking spaces are adjacent to the improved area. 3, the drive-through lanes shall be designated or designed to accommodate a full-size passenger vehicle pulling a typical recreational vehicle trailer. Comment, village engineer reviewed drawings for compliance. 4, the applicant shall demonstrate to the satisfaction of the Planning Commission that vehicle stacking areas for drive-through facility are adequate to handle the highest volume likely at the facility without encroaching on the public right-of-way or the drive aisles, parking, or pedestrian areas on site. Comment, area permits 2 lanes for stacking cars prior to ordering. 4 pull-forward stalls are indicated on the plans to prevent additional stacking. 5, any commercial establishment with a drive-through facility which adjoins a property zoned or used for residential purposes shall be effectively screened from view from such property. Comment, property is surrounded by lots zoned C2 highway commercial. Closest residential lot joins at northwest corner with proposed structures being over 350 feet away. 6, any outdoor speakers for the drive-through facility shall be located in a way that minimizes sounds transmission toward adjacent property. Comment, outdoor speakers are identified as located on the southwest portion of the site plan. 7, a standalone automated bank teller machine shall comply with these requirements. Comment, the proposed business does not offer banking services, so this does not apply. 8, drive-through restaurants may utilize an illuminated menu board not to exceed 32 square feet in sign area. Comment, menu board on sheet FD1 with images on DT4, measurements do not exceed 32 square feet. So staff recommendation on the special land use is approval with those comments. Regarding to the site plan review, the applicant has submitted a site plan that includes details on building placement, parking, landscaping, stormwater management, and other site elements. You also, as the petitioner mentioned, you received the drawings indicating that the turn radiuses have been met. That was not included as part of this report, as this was provided after the report was concluded. One other item that I need to mention regarding section 4, the public comments. This was as of February 26th. We did receive 2 comments in writing that each of you should have before you. So we do have public comments that were submitted before tonight's meeting. So the suggestion motions that included was a motion to approve the special land use permit for McDonald's located at 800 Midvilla Lane based on findings of fact and compliance with section 78-552. Motion to approve the site plan for McDonald's is presented in the application dated on January 21st, 2025. Clearly, if there's any comments, concerns related to my findings, or if the board chooses to deny, they certainly can do so. There are a handful of additions I've attached, including the consultant review letters that, as I mentioned, the engineer's letter hasn't been updated since this was received.
Okay.
Any questions? I'd be more than happy to.
Yeah, we will chat after our public hearing. So, so at this time, it is 7:11, going to suspend our regular meeting and open our public hearing for public comments. Same parameters apply. I ask that anyone who wants to speak to come up to the podium so we can use the microphone and let us know who you are. And you'll have 3 minutes to offer your comments to us. All right, planning commissioners, we have all received the written comments. All right, hearing no public comments, we're going to close our public hearing and reopen our regular meeting. So the site plan committee, we met.
February 11, I think, right?
Yeah, not too long
Yeah.
ago. Troy, Richard, and we met with the applicant and Doug. And so, yeah, thanks for the drawing for the turn radius on the fire trucks. That will satisfy my condition to satisfy the fire chief. Could you do me a favor and on the drawing where you plan to put the bike rack? The PDF I have I can't zoom in as far. If you want to just give me a hand. Because that
It's
was
like
one
there,
of the.
you can, he can just point to about where it is. We have.
I can assume where
I don't
it
know if
was
the
going
laser
to
pointer
sit.
works or not.
Yeah. Right next to the connection to the sidewalk.
Scroll down just a little, Kim. Yeah.
Yeah, so actually right connected to the ADA parking stalls is a section of sidewalk that connects to public sidewalk. Directly off of that would be the bike rack.
Oh, okay. I was looking in the wrong spot then. Perfect. So that would satisfy 78,671. Doug, you said the village engineer is still,
Village engineer didn't have any other concerns. This was the last minute item was related to the turn radius, and
Okay.
that was per the request of the fire chief.
The other thing we had from site plan committee, which is included in tonight's packet, is the sign that is out near the highway. That is in compliance with our sign ordinance. And then we did ask them for their details for their dumpster enclosure, which I've seen, and staff is satisfied with that.
Yes.
Okay. So those of us who aren't on the site plan committee, questions about special land use, comments about the site plan? I mean, it was, yeah, the parking requirements are met.
Yep.
One thing we had mentioned during site plan is the orientation of the building where it's presented to, oh, what is the name of the street? The new street?
Hybor Lane?
No.
Mid-Villa Lane?
Midvilla Lane. It's presented to Midvilla Lane and not the highway, because that's where the access is coming from, which,
So I have some questions about the egress after they leave the property onto the right of way. Is there a traffic light there or
no.
anything to control that?
Well,
left turn?
On the
Nothing
highway?
outside of the site plans being modified from when this was approved as part of the PUD.
Okay.
Yeah, this is just this parcel and not the PUD
Right,
in
yeah,
general.
as they exit,
Oh, there'll be a stop sign there onto the private road.
yes,
Yeah, just a stop sign.
okay. Because it looks like there's a little, like a starburst on the
That's a
drawing.
street light.
That's what I was wondering if it was a street.
That's just a street light on the other side of the drive,
Okay.
on the other side of the private road. Yeah, so, yeah, the site plan committee, we had the couple of asks, and they've satisfied Troy, your opinion, they've satisfied our
Yes.
conditions from site plan committee?
Yes.
Okay.
And also a question on the health department has no comment on the sewage.
So that's because this is being maintained privately. A lot of times that the health department may have comments, we bring them in. But when them saying that there's no comment, that means that there's nothing for them to inspect in this aspect. They are working with the health department in regards to being a food facility, but that's a separate process.
Okay, yeah, from speaking with Alec, it sounded like they were going to tap into the sub pump station.
Oh, yeah, the lift station
Yes.
from, yeah.
So does the health department need to get involved with that then?
No.
All right. Were we all satisfied with the comments from staff regarding the special land use for the drive-through? I think they've done an efficient job of their stacking.
I'm good.
You too? Okay. So this will require two motions. And I'll make the first motion for the special land use because I'm going to get a little verbose so that it is written into our minutes for future reference if ever necessary. Not anticipating that, but for the, and then we'll handle the site plan afterwards.
Okay.
But so this is a motion to approve special land use 2025-01 with the following findings of fact and with compliance, and that they are in compliance with section 78-552. 1, their automobile queuing for the drive-through is designed to be separated from both on and off-site traffic. 2, the pedestrian areas are clearly marked on the site plan and shall be maintained. 3, the village engineer reviewed the site plan indicating the drive-through is able to accommodate a passenger vehicle pulling a typical recreational trailer. 4, the planning commission is satisfied that the site plan has adequate vehicle stacking areas for the drive-through with 2 lanes before the ordering position and as well as 4 pull-forward parking stalls. 5, the property is surrounded by non-residential lots for purposes of screening requirements. The nearest future residential building is over 350 feet away. 6, the ordering speakers are identified as being located on the west side of the building and shall minimize sound transmission toward adjacent properties. 7, there are no banking services offered. And 8, the menu board specification on the site plan does not exceed 32 square feet.
Make a motion to approve.
Well, that was my motion. I'm
Oh.
looking for support.
Okay.
I'll support.
All right. All right, so we have a motion with support to approve special land use 2025-01 for the drive-through facility on this parcel with our 8 findings of fact to match our special land use ordinance. Any other discussion?
One question.
Yes.
You said something about the speakers were on the west side?
No, no, they're not. They're on the east side.
Correct,
Yeah, my directions are bad.
correct. Okay.
Yeah, so I am going to amend my motion to indicate in our finding number 6 that it does, they're on the east side of the building. I was sitting in my
We wanna
house.
say southeast, to be specific?
There. I know, right? Okay, thank you, Troy.
Mhm.
Anything else? All right, then I'm going to call the vote. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Our special land use motion has passed. That brings us to the site plan 2025-01. I will entertain a motion for that.
So I have a question. It's not really regarding, well, it sort of is the site plan, but on the application, it's a contract purchaser instead of the property owner.
So
is
the
this a
property
contract?
owner did sign a letter of support, that he's under contract with them.
Okay, so does that mean that the contract has an expiration? Is this an ongoing?
So
renewal?
they're seeking approval for the site plan. I don't know the details of their contract
Yeah,
negotiations.
the site plan is just for the applicants.
They're
Okay.
trying to purchase so they can develop the site.
Right, so I guess kind of what I'm thinking is long-term, 100 years from now, the building could be abandoned and create blight because of this contractual issue between the owner and the franchisee contractor.
Well, the franchisee of the restaurant,
So
it's the person looking to purchase the parcel is
Yeah.
asking for their site plan approval. The operator of the facility isn't involved at this point.
Okay. So then, does that affect anything as far as the abandonment?
So related
abandonment of the
to
building?
planning and zoning, we generally aren't looking at who the
Yeah.
individual is. It's what the intended use is. So.
I just, I was thinking long-term, if it's something that expires in 10 years and then they don't want to keep the McDonald's there and then we have an empty building after 10
Well,
years.
There is language in the village code ordinances for establishing a housing appeals board. So if there were issues in the future, that the village council could work in regards to, creating criteria that would allow for handling those issues. But it's something that doesn't really, affect the decision that the planning commission is being asked to make.
Just looking, see if there's a risk there.
All right. Who's making this motion? Are you gonna make me do it? All right. All right.
Seem to like to
Yeah, I know.
today, so
Wow.
I figured I'd let you do it.
Excuse me. I will make a motion that we approve site plan 2025-01 as presented.
Support.
We have a motion with support to approve site plan 2025-01 as presented. All those in favor say aye. And opposed say nay. Motion carries. All right, that concludes our new business this evening. Committee reports. Did the ordinance committee meet?
No.
No. Aren't you on that committee?
I am.
Okay.
I don't remember getting.
The site plan-
Downs, but I think I'm good.
The site plan committee, we met regarding this site. So we are down to our administrator's report. Mr. Powers.
So thank you. So there are not a ton of, updates in regards to permits, that time of the year. But a few items that we do need to consider. One, I'm hoping that the ordinance committee, we can touch base regarding availability so we can schedule the meeting here soon. Reason being is discussing zoning district classifications, whether or not we're looking to update language for the zoning districts that were not touched since our future land use plan update. And we've had a couple of those that have been updated, but there's some language that we could look into there. Certainly are a handful of other items that we can address. So if you can get with me after this meeting with availability, so we can get something scheduled on the calendar. 36 State Street, that they are in the process of working through the development plan. You may have seen some work on the site due to soil borings, but don't have a firm timeline or any updates at this point. However, our master plan survey is still ongoing. We have received over 150 responses so far. Still, if you know anyone that has not partaken in that, we have lovely handouts to give and get that information out there because we want everyone's feedback. So, we can see whether or not we need to make significant changes. One other item I had mentioned regarding the zoning district classification is our special use permits. Maybe something that we want to look into or discuss at the ordinance committee level as well. Not certain if some of that language may potentially need to be updated, if we are looking to require special land use permits for each of these items or making tweaks to the language. Hasn't been, don't believe any of you were on the board the last time this was addressed. So it may be a good point for us to have a dialogue and considering some possible updates.
All right. Anything for Doug? No. Okay. We have our code enforcement reports. And it looks like somebody was out in the middle of the night again, which was great. Questions for Mr. Pergler to be relayed through Doug? No? Oh, good. Yeah, okay. That's not my house.
Getting a little worried.
You gotta check on, yeah.
That's the
All
first
right.
thing I do.
Yeah, right. This brings us to our final public comment session for the evening. If anyone has got comments for us?
Can we review the email questions at this point, or do we have to wait until?
Those don't have to read them into the minutes. They are part of,
Okay.
yeah, as they were written comments in. They don't have to be read into the
Okay.
audio.
Is there someone that can answer these questions, or are we just going to?
If you have
override them?
questions about them, then you can talk to Doug. You can talk to staff about it.
Okay.
Hi, Kevin.
Hello, hi, hello. Kevin Smith, I'm village president for Middleville. Just wanted to make a couple of quick comments. This type of restaurant has been on the top of the residents list when we send out surveys year over year over year. So it's an interesting and exciting step forward in regards to the development of Middleville. Mr. Hybor has always been a great partner and has certainly opened up a lot of great opportunity to the community for just taking a plot of land and making something really special about it. So I want to just thank this board and your careful review of that. I'm sure this is a very complicated site that needed a lot of scrutiny, and I'm glad that tonight we finally hit a milestone for them. So thank you very much, and we look forward to further engagements. Thanks.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else? All right. That moves us on to commissioner comments. Folks,
I'm all good.
we're good?
All good?
All right, I'm not making the next motion.
I do have a comment.
Oh, yeah.
After making both Jason and Doug sweat just a little bit, I did put my application in to return. If I do get it, it'd be 19 and 20 years. So,
Yeah.
yeah. Much knowledge.
Yeah.
So, but yes, I had to make you two sweat just a little
Yeah, standing
bit.
there tapping.
I mean, you know, it was worth it. That's all I got.
All right. Anyone else? No? All right. Who's making that motion?
I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting. Support?
We have a motion for adjournment with support. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We're adjourned.
Time available.